What did I realize after being with a narcissist? Yeah, sit down and get comfortable. Are you ready for this talk?
I have way too many thoughts about this video, so I decided to make a separate breakdown. We won't nitpick the fact that the girl started off by labeling someone as a narcissist. That part is already obvious. That move is meant to trigger sympathy from the audience. By doing that, she's putting herself in the victim's position right from the start, the one people are more likely to believe and feel sorry for. But let's look deeper and try to figure out what's really behind her words.
Girls, let me say this right away. It's so easy to fall into this trap. How do you spot a narcissist? The classic textbook kind. First of all, everything happens way too fast. This person rushes things like crazy. After just 2 weeks, he's already telling you he loves you, how amazing you are, how special you are, sometimes even on the second date.
So, based on what you're saying, if someone falls in love quickly, does that automatically make them a narcissist? That's not really how it works. People are just different. Some fall in love fast, while others may take years to say, I love you. It's all about individual personalities. From what you've shared, it sounds more like the first type of person, the kind who falls in love quickly. Or maybe just someone who was looking to have a good time, but that's still not enough to jump to conclusions and call someone a narcissist. And when you mention, sometimes he does this, sometimes he does that, it makes me wonder, are you describing your experience with a narcissist, concluding something you've read, or labeling a pattern based on past relationships where you've suffered? Okay, let's move to the next part.
He showers you with way too much attention, acting like a prince straight out of a fairy tale. Why? Because he needs to prove how perfect he is. Maybe he can be charming, yes, but at the end of the day, it's all part of his game. Most of the time, narcissists have a bad relationship with their mother, even if they don't consciously realize it.
Here we have another attempt to twist definitions. Narcissism isn't automatically linked to family relationships. That can be one contributing factor, but not a defining one. There are plenty of people with complicated or even bad relationships with their parents who never become narcissists. Yes, other psychological issues can appear, but narcissism itself is still relatively rare. And it's odd to say that someone trying to appear perfect automatically means they're a narcissist. Most people want to look their best in front of someone they like. That's basic human behavior. Sometimes people act a certain way just to make a good impression or to get what they want. Does that make the majority of people narcissists too? Let's be honest, even you've probably done the same at least once. So, for now, what we're seeing here is just normal human behavior, not a clinical case.
And let me be clear, you can't become a narcissist as an adult. Narcissism shows up in childhood, around age 6 or 7, in both boys and girls.
And once again, false information, most likely gathered from a single Google search. Because if you dig a little deeper, or at least ask ChatGPT, you'll find out that narcissistic personality disorder, while it often develops in childhood, can actually appear at any age for many different reasons, from psychological trauma to an overly easy and successful life.
At first, it feels like you've met the most perfect man. He's dazzling, you're on this crazy dopamine high, but it always ends the same way, painfully. Because next to a narcissist, a normal, healthy person will always wither away.
Here's a small note. What exactly does she mean by "it all ends painfully"? We need specifics, because the way she says it makes it sound like something catastrophic happened, when in reality, it might have just been a normal argument between two people. And her claim that a normal, mentally healthy person dies next to a narcissist is also pretty strange. A truly mentally healthy person would never even start a relationship with a narcissist. Small details, sure, but this video is packed with manipulative wording. Let's continue.
You might ask, but how do you know all this? Why should we believe you? Well, it's not just my opinion. I'm quoting my own therapist and many other psychologists.
And here everything falls apart. Just a moment ago, she tried to use a clear appeal to authority manipulation, but of course, without mentioning any actual names, leaving herself a loophole like, well, some psychologist once wrote on Facebook that, no, that's not how it works. If someone tries to influence you through an expert opinion, especially without giving specific names or sources, it's almost always just a simple manipulation tactic.
And here's one huge thing. Narcissists never really end their past relationships. They never close the door. They leave it half open. If you're with one, know this. He won't let you go. He might disappear for a while, but he'll always come back. At first, the breakup feels weirdly easy. He just lets you go, and you start asking yourself, wait, if he loved and valued me so much, why is he okay with losing me? But the truth is, he didn't actually let you go. You left.
And again, this isn't about narcissists. It's about weak people. There are countless stories where someone can't fully let go after a breakup. So there's no need to look for scientific evidence here. Yes, this is unhealthy behavior in relationships. Yes, it almost always ends badly for both sides. But this isn't a trait of narcissism. It's just human weakness. It's the same as with a healthy diet. Some people are strong enough to stick to it for years, while others give up on day 2 and buy the chips they swore they'd never eat again.
You left, and later he'll use that against you. Remember? You're the one who walked away. That's how he shifts the guilt back onto you. The hardest part after being with a narcissist is that normal, healthy relationships feel boring.
So maybe the issue wasn't that the person was a narcissist. Maybe he simply made you feel good at first and then, for one reason or another, which we'll never know without both sides of the story, stopped doing so. Maybe he realized you weren't right for each other and decided to leave. Maybe someone better came along. Yes, it's hard to accept, but it happens. Maybe he got disappointed in you, or maybe he was dealing with personal issues. There are a lot of maybes, and to see the truth, you'd need to hear details from both partners. Don't generalize or create a narcissist villain narrative just to gain sympathy from the audience.
So, what are the things narcissists do that normal men don't?
And here lies the main point of this video. Let's take a closer look.
What are the things narcissists do that normal men don't? Let me explain. Narcissists sweep you off your feet. They'll move mountains for you. And sure, good men do that too. But the difference is, a normal man does it calmly, steadily. A normal man doesn't rush things because he wants to truly feel the ground under his feet. The narcissist? He's like, whatever, let's go. Because for him, this whole process is familiar territory.
Here it is, the thing all those fake relationship gurus love to talk about most. What a man should and shouldn't do. In their stories, there's usually some mythical right man and the opposite wrong man, labeled however they see fit. Infantile, incel, weakling, misogynist, and in this case, narcissist. So the whole story about the narcissist? First and foremost, it's meant to manipulate how people view real men and make life easier for the storyteller. And second, you'll understand soon enough.
And another thing, narcissists always go for women with high self-esteem. Women who are beautiful, confident, admired by others. He'll never go for a plain girl. Why? Because being next to someone radiant makes him feel even greater. But in the process, he doesn't notice how that very woman is slowly destroyed by being with him.
Exactly. All of this was meant to stroke her ego and boost her self-esteem. At the beginning, she framed it as what I realized after a relationship with a narcissist, and by the end, she pointed out the type of women narcissists supposedly choose. High self-esteem, beautiful, confident, admired by others, not like all those plain girls, radiant. Naturally, she's attributing all these qualities to herself. With this video, she attempted to accomplish 2 goals simultaneously: manipulate men and elevate her own self-esteem. And unfortunately, it often works, since a lot of insecure people are often drawn to artificial personas like this. Are you wondering why? See, by doing this, they not only generate income through monetization, courses, services, and so on, but they also write a mantra for themselves that they repeat over and over. Eventually, they begin to believe they're truly exceptional, that real men should move mountains for them, and that they deserve more. The reasons for such behavior can vary, from money to psychological trauma. Ironically, in this case, it might just be pure narcissism at play. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, my advice is simple. Don't develop any relationships with people who lie, manipulate, and thrive by putting others down, especially when they do it all for the camera. The only exception, perhaps, would be in strictly professional environments. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.